welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and let's try to walk 10K every day. I don't know if you've heard, but it is very much a thing to walk 10K steps a day for better health, mental health, just an overall better life. And I'm slowly but surely trying to make myself the best possible person I can be for that noise you hear in the background, which is my son. So I decided to have a goal this week because I'm really getting back into fitness again, doing a lot of muscle work. So a lot of Pilates or strength training, but I'm not necessarily doing a lot of physical cardio movement in the day. So I decided this week that I was going to walk 10K steps a day. That was my goal. And I thought to myself, why not listen to audiobooks while I'm on this walk? And that will be my motivation to do so. So this week I was not allowed to read unless I was listening to an audiobook when walking. You must be thinking to yourself, did that limit you in any way? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And alas, this is the challenge that I've presented myself. So this week, I listened to Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valente. I Am Ozzy by Ozzy Osbourne. And I also listened to Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dittman. So I will take you back to me 1 week ago when I decided to take on this challenge, and we'll see how I do.
Hello, so this is the first clip of what I hope will be a released vlog, but I have a goal to walk 10,000 steps every day for at least 1 week. And it doesn't necessarily have to hit 10K, but as close as possible. And I'm using this goal in order to get further into my audio books. Usually when I go on walks and stuff with my son, yeah, we listen to music or I watch a couple of YouTube videos, but I want to read whatever the hell I want this week, kind of, because I have a lot of vlog goals, and I don't necessarily do vlogs like this where I just read whatever I want and there's not necessarily a purpose. I really just want to listen to some books that I have on audio. So right now we're going to take a trip to the library. We're going to go to the library together. Yeah. We're going to get him his library card in order to sign him up exactly for stuff that's happening in the city, like swimming lessons. I'm going to be listening to Comfort Me with Apples, I think it's called, by Catherine M. Valente. I'm really liking it a lot. It's about a girl who lives in a community and she really loves her husband. Is basically the premise of this. Is obviously a dystopian vibe. It's giving Don't Worry Darling with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles. And that's the vibe I'm getting, and that's where I think it's going. It's only a 2-hour audiobook. I've listened to about an hour of it, so I have another hour, and I think that that's the book that I'm going to get finished today. And if I do read anything else, I'll come to you in a bit. I am enjoying it so far, so that's the positive side. The walk is about 23 minutes, and I do tend to do 1,000 steps per 10 minutes. There and back from the library is already knocking out about 4,000 steps just this morning. So I'm hoping that we can go for another at least 30-minute walk this afternoon, and then another one with my partner after supper to help him go to sleep or calm down a little bit. So hopefully we can hit, I'm hoping, at least 9K today. That's my realistic goal. 10K would be lovely, of course, in the little walks here and there that I make in the house to go get the meal, blah, 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 blah. So come along with me on this journey. I'm really hoping that it's successful, and I want to show myself that 10K a day is not as scary as I think. So hopefully you can hear me, because obviously there's a lot of background noise, but I walked all the way to the library only to find out that it opens at 1. And I had such a feeling when I was walking close to it, because I used to come here a lot when I was younger to use the computer and the internet. And I was like, oh, fuck, I feel like it probably opens at 1 on Mondays. Lo and behold, it does. So what I'm thinking of doing is, we got a nice walk out of this anyways. I'm going to let my AirPods recharge a little bit, take in the scenery, and then we're going to just walk home and get those other 2,000 steps in, and then probably walk back around 5, I would say, because I think I'm going to make something easy for supper, so I don't really need a lot of time. So I think that's what we're going to do, because I do really need to get his city card for swimming. So a fail, but a success in a way. Hello, so we came back from our walk maybe an hour or two ago, and we did get to 4,457 steps for the day so far, which is really good. My Apple Health thing was you're walking way more than you usually do, because usually my average is 600 steps by like 10 a.m. Obviously, because I'm waking up at 9, so it's like it's not that far-fetched and that crazy. But it did make me feel a little like, okay, Apple, relax. And on that walk, I did in fact finish Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valente, and I will be giving it a 4 stars. The book essentially at its bare bones follows a main character named Sophia, who is extremely happy in this life she has cultivated with her husband and feels as though she has been created for him, loves him, and lives within a community where everyone is happy and hopeful. And obviously it has a very dystopian lean towards it. I actually enjoyed it way more than I was expecting it to. I love when a novella eats. Like, this was so well done. And I don't want to get too into spoilers, right? Because it is only 100 pages long. But if you're really into like disassembling Christian beliefs, understanding how the patriarchy uses religion to comfort itself and control others, I think this is a really, really interesting novella. I have read from Catherine M. Valente before, and I've really liked her work. I think she's tackling a lot of feminist issues in a interesting way, and I don't always like the way she dismantles things, but in this structure, in the novella structure and dystopian genre, I thought was really well done. And then as I finished Comfort Me with Apples, I started I Am Ozzy by Ozzy Osbourne. R.I.P. Obviously he died recently, and I am a big Black Sabbath fan, but an even bigger like Ozzy Osbourne band fan. I have really enjoyed Ozzy Osbourne's music for a long time. Obviously I know he's not like the best guy in the world. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not the most unproblematic king, but I do really like his music, and I enjoy his like pop culture ness in society. So his death was very hard in the way a celebrity death could be to me. So before I like order his next biography, which is called Last Rites, I did want to read I Am Ozzy, and so far like nothing that I don't know has happened in this book. I really like celebrity memoirs. I enjoy reading them, especially when they're written from the perspective of the person. That's what we're going to continue with when we walk back to the library after. It is 12:30 about. I'm probably gonna wait until like 2 or even 3, 4 to go. I need to finish a book for another vlog that I'm currently doing, so it's really important that I get that done. So see you. Hello, I'm sweating. We just came back from our walk to and from the library again in order to get this box as well. And in all honesty, I haven't checked, which is my mistake before doing this update, but I'm probably about 8,000 something. I don't think I'm going to normally do this within this vlog just because this vlog is more about the walking, but because I went to the library specifically, I kind of want to show you what the Library of Montreal gives to new babies. Basically, you get this box that says Bienvenue bébé, so welcoming the baby to the world. This is a beaver, obviously, because we live in Canada. The first thing is that you get, oh, it's like a little hand puppet. How cute. Look, it's a little pig. Oh my God, I would have loved to use this. I'm so upset right now, but I can use it again to the planetarium. We can go to the insectarium, the botanical gardens. This is a free pass to one of the Montreal Espace pour vie, which is like life spaces. They are created to sort of be the space that these natural things would be. So like, for example, at the biodome, the penguins live in an Arctic cold, and when you walk into the room, it's like an Arctic cold to keep a semblance of where they're from. So like at the botanical gardens, the gardens would be a semblance of where those natural vegetations would grow, kind of thing. This is a little letter that says, Bienvenue bébé, félicitations pour l'arrivée de votre poupon. Merci. This is just thanking me for having a baby. No problem. This is, oh, a new toothbrush. Cute. Then we have a bib with the Montreal logo, which is cute. I think this is like a natural diaper, which is so cute. We have another like little blanket tutu for the baby. This is freaking cute. I guess this is to like soothe the baby, and it's a carrot or a caterpillar. Oh, pants with the Montreal logo. What? This is cute. And then this is helps relieve the pain caused by headaches, toothaches, and earaches. Ooh, that's really cute. I love that. Then we have a bath towel. Very Montreal branded, which is so funny. Oh, and a blanket. This is so cute. Oh, I love this. I can't wait to show my partner when he gets home. This is actually adorable, and I'm so happy that it's things that he can use now and not just necessarily like newborn stuff, which I was really worried about, but grateful that it's all still really useful. Very cute. And then you get a book as well, obviously, because it's the library. So the book we got for free is Léon the Glutton, which was written, I guess, specifically for the Books for Baby program of the Association des Bibliothèques Publiques de Québec. And then when I came home, I also had a package. So I've been really interested in reading Tove Jansson, and I decided to start with her kids' book so I can read it, obviously, to my son. So this is the Moomins. I don't know if you know what the Moomins are. They look like this. And this is the first book that Tove Jansson wrote about them, called The Moomins and the Great Flood. With curious, playful prose and beautiful sepia watercolors and line art, The Moomins and the Great Flood is Tove Jansson's first children's book and contains the very first appearance of her beloved Moomin characters. Join the Moomins on their inaugural adventure to find Moomin Papa and a warm place to call home. I don't know, this is so cute. I'm very excited to read this and get into the Moomin universe, but specifically Tove Jansson in general. And then I did buy a microphone because it was on a crazy sale. Usually this microphone is $240 and it was on sale weirdly for $60. And I found that very strange, but I jumped on the fact that if it's a mistake, an error, not my problem. But I will be trying it out to see if it works with my phone. We'll see how it goes. I bought a microphone before and I really didn't like the sound quality. I felt like it was picking up like my mouth noises too much and I hated editing it. So I'm hoping this one's a bit easier and cleaner sounding. We'll see. I'm not convinced about microphones yet. Anyways, see you later. Hello. So I woke up today not really feeling well. I felt very nauseous, like I was going to faint. So we're not going to visit any of my coworkers like I was planning on doing today for my walks. So what we're gonna do right now, I'm feeling a bit better. I think we're gonna go on like a 20, maybe 30-minute walk, listen to the I Am Aussie audiobook, and then come back home just to get myself out of the house because, like I said, I'm really not feeling well. I ate a tomato sandwich and I'm hoping that that plus a walk is going to make me feel a bit better, less nauseous at least. I'm going to aim for 30, but I'm not going to be upset if I have 20 because I'm not feeling well and just for the safety of like me and my son. I don't really want to faint when we're out, and then we'll come back. So hopefully I'll get about 20 minutes of the audiobook done, which is technically like 45. We'll update you later. Oh, and I forgot to say that yesterday I managed to walk like 9,500 steps, which is really good. It's not like the 10K, but whatever, with steps everywhere that I left my phone and like didn't take my phone with me, probably added up to an additional 500 steps. So let's just say it's 10K. And we're gonna aim for, let's say 8 today. Hello. So I think this microphone is working and I love the sound. So I'm really happy about it. My son is fascinated by this microphone cover, which I think is so cute. I just got back from our walk. I walked a total of 2,850 steps. So about 28 minutes, 30 minutes. So really good walk considering how I feel right now. I did put on a bit of makeup before I left because I will be filming my final clip finally for my Robin Hobb vlog, which will be going before this one. So exactly. But I did get to, I don't know how far I am into I Am Aussie, I'll be honest, but I still feel like I'm relatively within the beginning. They have just decided to rename their band Black Sabbath. So that's where I am in the history of Aussie right now. I really, really love reading celebrity memoirs because I am one of the folks that love a little name drop. I love that shit. I like listening to Ozzy Osbourne, someone that I think is one of, if not the greatest musical artist to have influenced bands that I love and just love Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne experience in general. To hear him talk about how excited he was for new releases from the Beatles is insane to me. To think that, you know, the Beatles, we know now in 2025 were such an influential band group to come out of London to influence rock and roll and metal, all of these different sounding genres from the Beatles, to know that even Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne was influenced by them, looked up to them as people who came out of London, young boys that came out of London and created something big. And to know that that inspired him, I think is just always very cool. Obviously, the Beatles inspired a lot of bands, so it's always nice to hear that. But then to know that he was friends with a boy named Robert Plant, who went on to create Led Zeppelin, and he hears this album of Led Zeppelin. I just got to this part, which is why it's so vivid in my mind. And he's like, I recognize this voice. Who the fuck is this band? And they're like, Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin. He's like, they were the Yardbirds. He's like, this is not Led Zeppelin. The guy's like, yeah, this is Robert Plant's band. And he's like, what the fuck? They created this like mental album. And you're like, oh my God, they were all
friends as much as, you know, they were all musicians at this time and would have eventually become friends anyways because of the scene that they're in. To know that he was like, Robert Plant, he's in the Yardbirds. And now we know the Yardbirds was a pre Led Zeppelin, right? And it's just so interesting and fun. I just love that shit. I just love that shit. Okay. I just love it. So now we're getting really into, I think, when Black Sabbath becomes Black Sabbath, which is going to be really interesting. And obviously the point in Ozzy's history that like I know the most of. So I'm very, very excited to continue listening to this audiobook. And thanks to this vlog, it's a book that I've always wanted to listen to, but never really prioritized. So I'm happy to have this like week to just chill out, read whatever the fuck I want in the guise of walking 10K. I think later I'm going to walk again, probably to the grocery store and pick up some stuff for supper. I don't know how much walking I'm going to get done today, honestly, based on how I'm feeling, but my new goal is 6K. That's what I would really, really like to get to today of steps. So I'm really hoping to do so. And I will update you later. Hello. So I just finished my final update for the Farsi trilogy vlog that's coming before this one. And I wanted to talk to you because I did get home and I walked a total of 7,669 steps for the day so far. I'm hoping to crack that 8,000, which I think will be very easy to do. And I continue to listen to I Am Ozzy by Ozzy Osbourne. I'm still really enjoying it. But we are getting to the part where he's like, I love drugs and women and fucking. And it's like, okay, it's a part of a rock star's biography that I just have to make my way through. Obviously, they lived a rock star life. I acknowledge that. I'm just listening to it right now. Obviously, I know Ozzy Osbourne also big, big cokehead. So like I'm aware of what we're talking about here, but like, can I say when I'm walking my baby around my suburban neighborhood that I feel a little weird listening to it? Sure. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm actually very surprised by how much I'm enjoying this book. Not that I didn't think I would enjoy Ozzy Osbourne's story, but I'm definitely surprised by how it's written, the captivatingness of the story in a sense. It's been quite enjoyable. I don't have the physical copy, so I don't know if it was ghost written. I want to believe in my boy, but who knows, you know? That is my update for now. If I go for a walk after supper, it depends how dark it is and how tired my baby is. If we could just crack that 8,000, I'll be really happy about it. And I'll consider that a success for the day, but I will come and update you probably later if I do walk, tomorrow if I don't. Hello. So we got back from our walk about an hour ago, and I just realized I did not check. Hold on, let me get my Fitbit. According to my Fitbit, which I finally decided to charge, we have walked 6,910 steps today, which is amazing. Obviously, as I told you, I went to the further away grocery store, so it is a bit longer. I walked through the park that's in between my house and the grocery store, so it was not only a very long walk, but a very nice walk as well. So that was a lot of fun. As per usual, while I was walking, I was listening to I Am Ozzy. We tackled a lot of things in what I read because, as I said, it was a pretty long walk. So we tackled Ozzy Osbourne leaving Black Sabbath, him starting his own band with the help of his now wife Sharon, his meeting of Randy Rhoads, arguably one of the best guitarists in the world, R.I.P. King, and subsequently Randy Rhoads' death. What I'm really appreciating about this audiobook is that we are really blending together like Ozzy Osbourne's very specific, like dark British humor and these like really tragic and sad moments in his life. So we listened to the loss of his father, obviously when he introduced Randy Rhoads and his love and appreciation for Randy Rhoads, that was really bittersweet. And then obviously with the death of Randy Rhoads, I stopped at that chapter. So I'm going to be restarting whenever we walk again right on that somber note. But yeah, I'm really appreciating it. Something I do want to really highlight is the excellency of the audiobook. Whoever it is really doing an excellent job at navigating Ozzy Osbourne's very specific British accent and switching to, especially when they're touring in the States, the American accents that they're dealing with. I think that it's really well done, very immersive, I feel personally. I really feel like I'm in Ozzy Osbourne's head. Now that I'm home, I'm going to try to edit my video a bit more. I'm not sure if we're going to go on another walk, but I am hoping to at least get another 2,000 steps today. So we'll really see what happens. Maybe I'll go for a walk with my boyfriend after supper. I don't know. We do have that funeral that we have to go to. So I'm just going to see how the day takes us. But I'm really proud of the walk that me and my son did. Hello. So it is a new day. Yesterday I did hit 10,000 steps, which is really amazing. I'm definitely feeling it today. My legs hurt. And I think it's really interesting. It's something I want to think about because obviously they recommend that you walk 10,000 steps every day. And I think it's very easy when you live in walkable cities slash in a walkable area of a city, because obviously I do live in the biggest city in Quebec, and it is a city with a downtown area. It's just that I do not live in the downtown area. So a lot of what I have to do is several minutes away from each other, right? It's still like 20 minutes away. It's not that big of a deal. But I will definitely say that walking 10,000 steps when you're not used to it has been a challenge for me. And I think that that's really interesting because I'm not doing crazy things, right? I'm just walking to the grocery store, walking to get coffee. That's all I'm doing. But because I don't live in a more like walkable or easily accessible area, it becomes more of a challenge for me. So I'm really liking that I'm getting like an introspective look at how attainable the 10,000 steps could be if I would just choose to walk over using my car. And I know that's like such a stupid, like Americanized way of thinking. Please don't call me an American. But it's just been a really interesting challenge that I've been doing. Today, we are going to walk to another grocery store. I need to pick up formula for my son. I think I'm going to pick up a couple of other groceries that I have. And then we're going to walk back. This grocery store is not as far as the one from yesterday, but it doesn't have a coffee shop near it. What should we do? I'm going to see how I feel. We have coffee in the house today. Yesterday, we did not. I could just come back and make my own coffee and save money. I'm going to get ready. We're going to go walk soon because it's already 11 a.m. I don't know if I should eat first, actually. Maybe I'll eat first, and then we'll go. Hello. So we just came back from our walk, and I've walked about 4,860 steps. It is now almost 4. So that's not really where I wanted to be today, but we have been having some problems today. I'm not going to name names, but we've been very cranky and we've been napping when we're not supposed to be napping and then not napping when we're supposed to be napping. So it's been very difficult. Yeah, to go out for walks today. I did want to film this update as well because I got the Aardvark box for the month of September. And I'm very excited about this box because, first of all, we got a highly anticipated release for me. This is Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. I read Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle, absolutely adored it. And now I want to read everything that he's ever written. I don't even know what this is about. I just saw it in the catalog and I knew I had to get it. 4 years ago, an unthinkable disaster occurred in what is later known as the low probability event. 8 million people were killed in a single day, all of them dying in improbable, bizarre ways. A day of freak accidents that proved anything is possible, no matter the odds. Luck is real now, and it's not always good. So, sounds fantastic to me. I love, like, the color scheme. Like, I just think everything about this book is gorgeous. Ooh! Hello! This is lovely. I love that. Yeah, my son is very excited for this book as well. And then the next book I got was You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White, another author that I read from previously and have enjoyed his work, although not as much as Chuck Tingle. But the reason I was really interested in this one is because it's Alien Meets Midsommar, in this chilling novel about an alien invasion in rural West Virginia, which I think is going to be so fun. I think Andrew Joseph White does really interesting things, typical horror dystopian ideas, so very excited for that. We got the bookmarks for the books, so I'm very excited to start these. If you didn't watch my fall plans TBR, I am doing a reading vlog for Aardvark books because I have not read a single one of them. And I'm scheduling it, I think, for the month of October or around that time. Luckily, Aardvark box is, most of them I think that I have are horror books, so should be good for that. But other than that, I'm almost done with I Am Aussie. I have about 20 minutes left. I think I'm just going to listen to it on another walk. I think maybe, depending on how I feel, might go for another walk at like 5:30. Just a simple like walk around the block just to get some extra steps in. Maybe help Mr. Super Excited over here fall asleep. That would be really good if he took another nap today. But other than that, that's where I am at today, and I will talk to you maybe later. Hello, it's a new day. Yesterday, I really was not successful. I only walked like 6,000 steps or so. I'll put a screenshot. It really was not a successful day. And I think reflecting on it, it's partly because we woke up late is one. Two, my look, I don't want to blame him, but he was being particularly difficult about his naps. So that was another thing that was concerning me. And then the third thing is that I was just more lazy yesterday than I was the previous days. Even though I walked all the way to the grocery store, I do want to give myself a little pat on the back there. I think this is just making me reflect how if you don't have anything to do and use walking as your transportation, walking 10,000 steps a day is extremely intentional. And I understand that this is coming off like maybe dumb to some people, but I think a lot more people than we realize, at least on this side of the world, have to be extremely intentional with their exercise. And that's sort of what I'm trying to do. I'm moving my body more. I want to be more like healthy and fit for my son, obviously. So that's the reason for this goal. I still have that 20 minutes left of the I Am Aussie audiobook. So we will be going for a walk now. And I think the goal of that walk will be to just finish the audio book before we come back. He has just been fed, so he should be fine on our walk, and maybe he'll fall asleep. But like I said, he's been extremely difficult lately. I don't know if I have to change his nap schedule. First time mom problems, doing the best I can. So let's go do that. And when I come back, I'll have a review for the I Am Aussie audiobook. Hello. So we just came back from our walk. We walked about 3,100 steps overall, which is a really great walk. I was sweating. I definitely dressed for colder weather. It said it was 13 degrees outside, but when I was walking in the sun, it was like pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. But I did end up finishing I Am Aussie by Ozzy Osbourne. I don't think I'm gonna rate this just because I feel different. I used to rate autobiographies in terms of like how much I enjoyed it, but now I'm of the belief that like, how am I gonna rate someone's life? He's just telling a story. He's not like trying to impact me in any way about like his life. He's not shocking me with any information, right? He's a public figure. So I've changed my tune, I think, about autobiographies specifically. I used to believe in just rating all books, but now I'm like, whatevs. I'm gonna leave it unrated. I will say that the audiobook was probably the most interesting experience of listening to this. The narrator did a really, really excellent job, one with Ozzy's accent, but also with the rest of the accents in the book. It kept me interested, it kept me captivated. I enjoyed the experience overall. I think Ozzy Osbourne did a really excellent job at putting in like humor and emotional parts and understanding where he went wrong in life. A lot of self-reflection, which I thought was really, really well done and really interesting. And looking back at his life and seeing what he could have done better, slash, it is what it is type of mentality. I found all of that to be really, really refreshing. I think it's nice to hear rock stars specifically who partook in an image of evil and were actually genuinely like good people, and even the bad stuff that they did, they look back on and reflect on these negative situations and like what they would have done differently or the regret that they possibly have. So in general, I just found it to be a really interesting audiobook, and obviously like very bittersweet in light of his death. I finished that book immediately when I got into my condo, so I think later I'm actually going to start The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. This is the last of his like secret projects that I had pre-ordered. We're not going to talk about how long ago, but I actually don't know what this is about. And all I do know is that it's somehow related to the Cosmere, and it's the next book that I have to read before I read Winged of Truth, I think. Okay, so a man called Nomad is being pursued by the Night Brigade. Nomad and his Spren companion auxiliary arrive on the planet Canticle. Canticle is a very small, inhospitable planet. The heat of the sun kills anyone who is exposed to daylight. The planet's inhabitants live on floating cities, always fleeing from the dawn. Sounds interesting. So I will definitely be listening to that next because I have it from the library. And I think that that is probably going to be the book that's going to close out this vlog. And I will likely edit a bit of my Farseer vlog, and then we're probably going to go for a walk later. You're asking the question, did my son nap on the walk? No, he did not. Yeah, so it's that kind of day today. Yeah. I'm so excited. Hello. So I'm going to whisper because it's several hours later and my son is in fact asleep. I just finished editing my Farseer video, so that's why I'm only coming to you with this update a bit later, but I have hit 10,000 steps today, so that's a positive. I am undecided if I want to continue really with the audiobooks. So the first book that I started was The Sunlit by Brandon Sanderson. I listened to that for the first like 25 minutes of my walk, and I had to restart it already during my walk because I was not understanding really what was going on. I don't know if it's the audiobook narrator or just that Brandon Sanderson's writing is a bit more difficult on audio because he's so intricate with details and the magic system and really making sure you understand what's going on, or the sunlit itself is more complicating in general, just because it is not one of the Cosmere worlds that I am the most comfortable with. So I am technically restarting with a new magic system, a new like set of understandings of rules and stuff. So that might be a part of it as well. I think Brandon Sanderson on audio is best when you're like either rereading or you have the book in tow. So I don't think it's the smartest thing to have it while I'm just on natural walks and like sometimes my mind wanders. So on the way back, I was like, what other audiobook do I have that could be really easy to listen to? And I think I settled on Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is the second book by Matt Dinniman that follows a dungeon crawler named Carl, who on one fateful night, his cat Princess Donut runs out of the window, and through doing so, they are both saved by the crush of all of the buildings in the world. And after that, they realize that dungeons have opened, and upon entering these dungeons, they are sent into what is essentially like a dungeon crawler video game being watched by the entire galaxy. And so they're paired together in a team, forced to play this game. So if you watched my Will These Books Be 5 Stars vlog, you would have seen me read Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, and I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it, but the like dick lit video game humor was a bit annoying for me as someone who works in video games. I'm very used to it / very annoyed of it sometimes. So I'm hoping that it is less apparent in this one, and so far so good. I think this is going to be my chosen audiobook because the way that the audiobook is structured, formatted, told is very captivating. It keeps me interested, it keeps me laughing, and it's much more easier of a listen than what I think the Sunlit Man would be. So that's what we're going to settle on, but I hit my 10K steps today, so I'm really, really happy about that. And I don't know if I'll actually update you tomorrow. I might make this vlog go until Tuesday just because I don't foresee there being a lot of audiobook listening that will be done tomorrow. I have my kids' doctor's appointment, then I have my sister's birthday party that we're going to like paint ceramics, and then I have to go to my in-laws' house to do some chores for them while they're out all day. I don't foresee that. I'm hoping I still will hit some sort of goal, whether it's I just want to be above 5K tomorrow. That's my goal. I really think I can accomplish it, especially because we have to walk the dog. So I'm thinking Rocky will help me. We'll see. Hello, so I don't really have much to update today because between yesterday, which was Saturday, and today, Sunday, I've probably walked a total of like 11,000, give or take, steps, but it averages out to like 5,000 a day, which is not like the best, but at least I'm walking. Yesterday we had a pretty busy day. We had my son's doctor's appointment, then we had my sister's birthday party, and then we had to go babysit my in-laws dog. So it was a lot of moving around, like no time at home really, but a lot of like not moving around physically, you know? So today I ended up walking a bit more. Obviously I didn't hit that 10,000 steps, but I did walk about 6,700. This morning I had Pilates. I do have to drive to the Pilates studio that I go to, so there's no walking there. But then I walked around the neighborhood of my Pilates studio a little bit, went to get a coffee, did Pilates, did a little bit of grocery shopping on my way back home. And then after supper today, me and my partner and my son went for a walk like around the block for another 20 minutes. So I ended up having like a pretty physical day between Pilates and some walking, but not the 10,000 that I want to hit. And obviously, because I was never alone this weekend, pretty much during my walks, I did not get to listen to a lot of Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is the book I decided to go with on my walks. Friday, which was the day that I chose it, I ended up listening till about page 53. So enjoying it so far, but I don't think I have much more to update after that day. Tomorrow I am going to my partner's work because it is close to one of my friend's houses and we are going to go for brunch. We're going to walk around the neighborhood. So I'll probably listen to a bit when I'm walking to her house. But then once we walk to brunch and like the little village that we're going to be walking in, we're going to obviously be talking. I'm not going to just be listening to something separate from her. And so I do hope to get 10,000 steps tomorrow. And I do hope I get to listen to at least like 40 to 50 minutes of Carl's Doomsday Scenario so that I can have a substantial update. That's the goal. And then hopefully maybe we can walk again after supper when we're home. That would be like a perfect scenario for me. Tonight, I'm going to actually listen to The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson because I'm able to like concentrate and focus on it. But obviously that's not the point of this vlog. For you guys to know, this weekend was not successful in terms of reading and not successful in terms of 10K steps a day. But hopefully we're going to rectify it with the next 2 days. Good call. Hello, welcome to the last day of this challenge. I did an update yesterday just because I had a pretty big day. I did end up walking about 13,000 steps, which is so incredible. I definitely feel it this morning for sure. But I'm realizing like slowly as the week is going on that these big days of over 10K are not affecting me as badly. Like right now I'm sick, so but like physically my body, I'm okay. So yesterday I actually didn't read as much considering how much I walked because I spent a lot of time walking with my friend. To reach like the 10K, we walked around in this little village like near her house, which is super cute. There's a lot of like cafes and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. I love to like explore different cafes in different areas of Montreal, and the outskirts of Montreal really is where I was. Then we obviously walked like down different parks, checked out like something I really like to do is like in these like neighborhoods checking out like cool houses and stuff that I'll never afford, but it's still really cute. So that was a lot of what we did. Because I wasn't really like alone, I'm not going to listen to an audiobook while I'm walking with my friend. I only got to page 100 in Carl's Doomsday Scenario. So I don't necessarily think I'm going to finish this today. I will end the vlog no matter where I am in this book because the point of the vlog is hitting those 10K steps a day, right? So far, I can confidently say that I am enjoying this one more. Is it due to the fact that there's less like stupid dude bro jokes? Probably, because I do like Carl and Princess Donut specifically as characters, and because I work in video games and enjoy video games in general, I obviously love the like video game feel of the book. Right now it is 9:30 a.m. I'm going to change my son and me because it's quite frisky outside. And we're gonna do a quick 20-minute walk just to get the day started, get some easy steps in, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about what I read. We'll see how the day takes, but I'm definitely finishing today. Like the goal is to finish this vlog today. Welcome to the end of the vlog and welcome to the final day of this challenge. And you might be asking yourself, how did we end this video, this week of walking? How did we do? That's right, bitches. I did 10K again today. Now that I have a little bit of a routine, I can confidently say that I think I can solidly hit around the 10K mark daily, especially because it is becoming easier and easier to do so. I don't find that I am as sweaty as I started off in the beginning of the week. I definitely think the walk itself, the 10K a day walk that I've decided is my routine, is not as difficult as it was the first time I did it. And I think incorporating 10K steps into my day is definitely still a challenge. It's definitely still intentional of me to do so because obviously it's so much easier to just get in my car to run my errands. I will get to places quicker. I save more time, but I'm not having the thinking time outside or these moments of nature and fresh air shared with my son. He also loves, obviously, to stare at the sky and stare at the trees and listen to what's going on, feeling the wind in his hair, not to be like so poetic, but he is experiencing those things as well. This week has become a very like intentional practice, I think, that I want to take further on. Will I do 10K steps every day? Maybe not necessarily. As we saw in this week, I didn't even do that with trying to be the most intentional as possible, right? So I don't think 10K steps a day will always be possible, but it's definitely more realistic to me now that I've incorporated it into my day and seen how realistic it can be. But you don't care about this hippy dippy lomo schmomo. You want to know, did I finish Girls Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman? And I'm going to tell you that I didn't, but I do only have an hour and 20 minutes left. I could have easily just lied to you and finished it. But for the sake of understanding how much I read in the 10K steps this week, I want to be more honest. And I have about like 130 pages, let's say, with an hour and 20 minutes left on the audio, listening at 2.5 speed, obviously. I am enjoying it, I think, a little bit more than I did the first one, but I don't think my rating will necessarily change because the charm of reading it for the first time is obviously not there. But I still will say I think I'm going to give it still a 4 stars. I don't see myself not doing that just because the humor is still funny. I do find, I think I mentioned this already in an update, that there is less dude bro humor so far, at least, which I am enjoying. I think it is more charming this way and less of like an eye roll. And it makes me like Carl more as a character. I'm not thinking to myself like, oh, he would be this like MAGA Republican, like army bro. He's actually like kind and nice and funny. And that's making me appreciate his character more this book. Whereas like with Princess Donut, I liked her from day one. That's my girl. So where we are at in this book, they are sort of getting to the end of the third level. That's where they currently are in the like dungeon system. And Carl and Princess Donut are fan favorites. And Carl has been using that to his advantage, as well as Princess Donut's like dexterity and her ability to like charm and convince people. So they seem to be really strong contenders right now. And that is being appreciated by both the audience and the investors, the alien investors in this alien survival show. So that's where I will leave you. I definitely think I will be enjoying it. I don't foresee it getting a terrible rating unless something like really gross and disgusting, like abhorrently disgusting happens from here the next 130 pages. So I really don't think that's going to happen. As for my overall experience, just as a summary, I definitely will be listening to audiobooks in my future walks. I already have goals this week to do my walks, what books I'm going to be reading. And it's kind of refreshing that I can either use that time in the walks to read for vlogs, or I can just read a random book. I can read whatever the hell I want, and it's reserved only for my audiobook time. So that's it. I think I will be leaving you here. Let me know down below if you've created any intentional movement this year that you want to incorporate into your life. Do you walk 10K steps a day like my fellow Western Hemisphere people? Like, do you walk 10K steps a day? I would love to know. What audiobooks do you like to listen to on your walks if you do? Those are all my questions. So let me know down below if you have any answers to those. If you would like to follow me on my journey on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram reluctantly, just because obviously they're owned by billionaires who wish to enforce an oligarchy that I do not wish to be a part of in the name and the rise of late stage capitalism. However, we are all a part of it. So if you would like to follow me there, you can do so if you wish. And of course, because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel, makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye!